So Jeff, tell me what you think about the NHL shutting down. It's kind of big news, eh?
Yeah, I don't quite know. Who did you call me?
Jeff, isn't your? Oh shit! I'll fix it. Cue the intro.
The following presentation has been brought to you by HSF Productions.
With your hosts, Jeff and Hey guys, welcome to IWP, the Impromptu Wrestling Podcast. I am Jeff, aka Towelie 006, and over to my left here is my brother Damien. How is it going, dude?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad it's the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a long, hectic week in this world. Hope you're staying healthy.
Feeling good so far. So hope it continues.
Right, for sure. So we got a pretty big show here. We got a lot to go through. We're going through Dark, BTE, some more news about hashtag Free the Delete, and then of course AEW Dynamite from Salt Lake City this past Wednesday. How about we get right into it and tell me about AEW Dark?
All right, so AW Dark had 4 matches, and the matches went like this. We had Kip Sabian and Peter Avalon versus Jurassic Express. We had a new guy I don't think we've seen before, Severino Corrente. I probably butchered that.
Corrente. It's Italiano.
Corrente versus Jimmy Havoc. Another new one, Abaddon versus Hikaru Shida. Then in the main event, we had Brandon Cutler and Sunny Kiss versus Private Party. So you want to talk about each one of them?
Yeah, let's just quickly burn through it. I actually only got a chance to get through, I don't know, about 3/4 of the show. So my input will be very limited. But I did watch the first match, Super Bad and Avalon versus Jurassic Express. The only really big spot that I wanted to talk about is that fossilizer move that Luchasaurus does. I like it. He does this weird
I
kind
had
of
that
like
in my notes too.
he gets that guy up onto his shoulder and kind of does this. I don't know. It's like a inverted Samoan drop, Death Valley Driver kind of hybrid move. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. I made a note of that. Yeah, keep doing that. It's a big, powerful move for a big, powerful guy. I thought the match was decent overall. There wasn't really many like big spots. To talk about Luchasaurus again, he kind of almost looked like he fell off the top rope. Did you catch that part there where he went over the top rope and into some guys that were on the floor, and it's like he didn't clear the rope quite correctly, and then like fell right on his back, almost hit his head on the edge of the apron.
Oh, wow.
That was a nasty spot.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was per plan. It didn't look the greatest.
Okay.
Yeah, so just decent. There was a bit of a shoving match between Leva and Penelope.
Probably going to
which
see that
kind of
match
broke up
next
the
week.
match. Yeah, you know what? It really made me think of like, does wrestling still do panties and bras match? 'Cause,
I think that might be outside the
I wouldn't
realm
say
of
no to that.
reality, but I want to see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
I mean,
Anyways,
if we could grab Penelope Ford and I mean, maybe not Leva Bates, but maybe even a Britt
what's
Baker.
wrong with Leva?
I don't, It's not my style. But if we could jump in a time machine and take them back to 1999, I totally would. I would work my magic with Vince and get him signed, get those two girls signed, and I would want to see that. What else did we have?
So Jurassic Express went over on that one.
Right. They
really...
correct me if I'm wrong. Have we seen this finishing move before? This tandem. Like he sets him up in the tombstone and then flips him up and goes right into the diamond cutter. Like that, I don't remember seeing them do that. That was really cool.
No,
I want to see that.
Yeah.
What are we gonna call that move? They didn't call it anything on the broadcast.
Yeah, there's a good question for our viewers to put in the comments. Come up with a name for that move, and let's get those guys on social media, and maybe we'll be the ones to create that.
Yeah.
No, very cool move.
All right. What's next?
All right, in the next match, we had the new guy, Severino Corriente, and versus Jimmy Havoc. So Jimmy Havoc won this match. It was a pretty hard-hitting match. And again, just kind of a normal Jimmy Havoc match. It was a solid match. And then at the end, Luther comes to the ring and continues that feud with Jimmy. So I feel like for sure now this is kind of where things are going to go. And, maybe we'll see it at the next pay-per-view or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I hope they build this match, this feud over the next few weeks, and it leads up into a big hardcore match or a death match, whatever you want to call it. Just to break kayfabe really quickly, just today, as we're recording, Friday the 13th, Dr. Luther is officially #All Elite. He had put pen to paper today. Jericho was there. They're very close friends from back in the day. I think we talked about that, how Luther brought Jericho in to wrestling in Canada and whatnot. So big news for a veteran, a longtime veteran of the business. And we're excited to see Dr. Luther every week on AEW. And I'm really pumped for this.
Do you think they waited until Friday the 13th on purpose?
Maybe. I mean, it fits his character, right? So that might be a good call.
All right, in the next one we had Abaddon versus Hikaru Shida. I'm probably saying that wrong. How do you say
Hikaru.
I'll just call her Shida.
Shida.
It's easier.
Yep.
Shida.
Holy Shida.
Holy Shida, man.
Holy Shida.
So you didn't see this one at all?
I got about halfway through the match. I saw the entrance, and I think that's all we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, had you seen Abaddon before?
So yeah, when Dark came out, the magical I don't know what you want to call them, the YouTube gods all of a sudden populated Abaddon versus Orange Cassidy match into my suggested feed. So I checked it out and I was like, oh, what's this? Who's this Abaddon about? And yeah, I think it's a great gimmick. Again, very similar to Dr. Luther, I think. She might be the female Luther. But I'm interested to see where the gimmick goes. And that entrance really had me hooked. All you could do is stare at her. She's got like one blown out eye. There's just blood coming down her face. And Taz makes the comment, she looks like a Marilyn Manson video from 1998. I thought was pretty clever. What did you think?
Yeah, she is quite a sight, and I think she has that really going for her, and she can wrestle. Like it was a decent match, and it had a really good story because most of the time Sheeta was, kind of playing scared, or like she didn't know what to quite do with her because she was so menacing. So I thought they told a really good story.
Okay.
She did a couple of, we'll say, things that other wrestlers do, which I don't think were that bad in my opinion. So at one point she got knocked down and then she was laying on her back, and then she did kind of the Undertaker,
Oh, okay.
but with all of her makeup, like it really looked like, this zombie kind of rising from the dead. So like it totally fit. It wasn't just kind of like a rip off move, I think.
Right. It wouldn't be
And then
like
she
if
ended up
Britt
doing
Baker did it.
right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't come off the same.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then she did the Bray Wyatt kind of back bridge,
Oh,
where she's on her back and she arcs up.
the Exorcist
Um,
kind of
she
walk or
didn't do
whatever.
the walk. Yeah, she didn't do the
Oh,
walk,
okay.
but she kind of stared. But again, it was the whole face and her presence that was
Cool.
cool. And then at one point she licked Sheeta's face and left her with a bunch of like red marking all over her face.
Oh, from the makeup. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So from a wrestling perspective, it's an okay match, uh, but the story was really good. I think the crowd enjoyed.
Cool.
But
Hope to
Sheeta
see her
won that
more.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Then from there, we go backstage with an interview with Havoc, and Luther attacked him again. So that was, just good, progressing the story with that one. The Librarians and Colt Cabana had a little bit in the back, and the only comment I have for this one is I thought I'm really seeing that Colt Cabana is really good on the mic. Like what you see from BTE and now on Dark, like he's sharp on the mic. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him.
I think that comes with because he runs his own podcast, The Art of Wrestling, I believe it's called, and he's just comfortable in the mic and talking and whatnot. So yeah, good things to come from Boom Boom Colt Cabana.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to talk about him in the next segment here. And then the last match was Cutler and Sonny Kiss versus Private Party. And I think this was probably the match of the night. Private Party went over on this one. Did you see any replays from this?
So yeah, I didn't get a chance to actually watch this match, but we got this new Twitter going at Impromptu Jeff and at Impromptu Damien. Follow us. But I only follow wrestlers or wrestling companies. Like it's a completely wrestling Twitter, and I caught some clips from Brandon Cutler, and he kind of went off. He really impressed me. He kind of had this Hulk up, this big comeback off a hot tag, probably I'm assuming, and he kind of channeled his inner Young Buck almost, and he was doing springboards and slingshots, and yeah, it really impressed me. Something that we haven't seen from Cutler. He tried sometimes in his early matches at the beginning of Dynamite, and he was slipping off the ropes, and he tweaked his knee one time, and I think he's starting to get really comfortable with the crowds and these big crowds, and yeah, I'm impressed with Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, I think this is the second week in a row now we're talking about Cutler.
Yeah, that last match with Spears where he almost takes out Private Party by himself. That's right.
Yeah. I really feel like he's hitting his groove, and he was, for me, the best part of this entire match. I thought Private Party, this was the best match I've seen them in as well. So it was just an all around, really solid match. Then we had a Death Triangle run in. Then Joey Janela ran in, and then we had Best Friends run in. Orange Cassidy walked in. So there's a bit of sort of at the end, I really feel like Best Friends and Death Triangle, this is where it's gonna go because it's kind of 3-on-3.
Right.
So yeah, it was a pretty solid show enjoyable. I like seeing the new people. So yeah, if you
sure.
have a chance, go rewatch
Yeah,
it.
I'll go back and finish watching Dark for sure. But let's move on to Being the Elite. Excuse me. So, Being the Elite this Monday was really Matt Jackson centered, I felt. It's kind of my initial thoughts on this episode. He seemed to be in almost every bit, and they were really focusing in on this him and Nick going out to Carolina to the Hardy Ranch and dealing with this Matt Hardy business. What were your thoughts on all the Matt Jackson bits?
I like how they're tying it together, with the flashbacks.
I thought that was so cool. That was really, really well done with the flashbacks and Matt. Oh, Brandon, wait, what's wrong? Oh, just never mind. Like I just thought it was all just really well done. I liked it.
Yeah, like the setups, like this is one of those shows where you really see how creative they are on, thinking of the stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel we're any closer to an official announcement of Matt Hardy after watching this Being the Elite?
I didn't think so. It didn't make me feel that way when I first watched it.
I feel the same
How
way.
about you?
I still think it's happening, but I think they're just doing a really good job of creating that doubt like they always do. Because, yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not any closer to feeling it confirmed by any means.
Right.
Another kind of interesting spot was this Kenny Omega business feeding the geese. I thought was just funny. I just thought it was funny. Like, I mean, where were they even when they filmed this? Would they have been in Denver at that point? I can't remember. But there's Canadian geese hanging out by this pond, and they happen to walk by, and Kenny Omega just channels his inner crocodile hunter, and he's all like, "Oh, they're beautiful, majestic creatures, but they're known for their feistiness, and everybody hates Canadian geese, and they're coming up, they're eating out of his hand, and then Nakazawa comes in and tries to feed them, and they chase him away, and they're like, yeah, see, they're only nice to Canadians." I thought it was just a clever little bit. Like it made no sense. It had nothing to do with anything, but I mean, yeah, Canadian geese, man, they're assholes to anybody but Canadians. But try to ask that to someone trying to drive down Route 90 in Winnipeg, right?
Yeah. I mean, they must film everything. Like they must always be filming, right? So it's just this happened and it was comical, so they threw it in there. Yeah, no, what do you think about Kenny and Colt Cabana's little bit there?
Yeah, I don't know what this is
Like,
about.
that sounded super real. Can only assume it's not real, but man, they convinced me. I was just like, holy crap.
I agree. Kenny is really good in these bits, in that a lot of the other guys, they look like they're doing a bit. But Kenny, every once in a while, just comes off so genuine, and this is one of those moments. And I don't know, if it wasn't for Colt Cabana kind of smiling the whole time, like I feel like he was just having fun being a part of the group at some moments, but then he kicks it in and he goes off back at Kenny like, I'm gonna be on every episode from now on. I'm being the Elite and Dynamite, and I don't care. I'm here to, I'm gonna make it into every episode. And I think it just leads us into a new bit that's gonna happen every week, is where,
Right.
it all goes back to that closet bit on the week before where he kind of pokes his head and he's like, oh crap, they're filming, and kind of snakes out. And they kind of did it this time. And then Kenny's just like, hey, get back in here. And like, what the hell are you doing? And blah, 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 blah. So I think this is going to be the thing where they're going to be filming a bit. And it's going to be like the librarians, like, you know, reading their books. And then you're just going to see Colt Cabana, like, come into frame, like.
Yeah, just walk by.
And then snake back out or something like that. So.
But so do you think that these walk-ins were planned? They don't look planned. And like you say, he was kind of smiling and then he flipped it.
So.
Like they're either
I think the first one, the one where Sammy Guevara and Nick Jackson are doing the sunglasses thing, and he, like, I think that was genuine, but I think it created such a buzz that they're like, we got to run with this. Like, these guys are smart; they know what's entertaining, and I think they noticed it. I mean, you even brought it up last week in the podcast. Like, was that Colt Cabana that popped his head in real quick and? I didn't even see it. I had to go back and watch it.
Well, you know what? Don't be surprised if Kenny becomes the crocodile hunter, because I first saw on Twitter something about Kenny feeding the geese, and I'm like, it actually made me think of Trailer Park Boys.
Right.
And I'm like, what? I do not want to watch Being the Elite. So then it all made sense when I actually watched it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's yeah, you're right. They know what entertains people and then they capitalize on it. Like what did you think about the Billy Gunn stuff? Like I thought that was hilarious as well.
You know, I kind of buried this fortune teller character, which I do believe is, I was like, who do you think this guy is? But I think it's the guy who does Control Center every Wednesday before Dynamite happens. I don't know if you watch that show. But he's
they do kind of look similar.
I think that's him. And then he was just able to do this goofy accent and Juice. He always says Juice.
Yeah.
But I think that's him. Anyways, so yeah, Billy Gunn goes in to get his fortune read for, like, I didn't get it, but I mean, I just thought the punchline was funny because, you know, he's going in there, you know, I'm my boy's favorite wrestler, you know, we're tag teaming, and, you know, I got no worries about that. And then he goes and talks to him, and then credit to, I don't even remember what his kid's name is. We've only seen him the once, but he's like, yeah, hey, no worries. He's always been my favorite wrestler, and da-da-da-da-da. And yeah, of course it's Road Dogg. Wait, what? Yeah, it was a good bit. It was kind of out of nowhere for me, but I mean, Billy Gunn is just... The Outlaws created their careers on comical wrestling. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, his comedic timing is really good, and yeah, I thought this was a good little bit. And then how about the Brandon Cutler, Peter Avalon, Nakazawa race for the worst wrestler in AEW? What do you think of this?
I like how they just get slammed after Nakazawa's like, no, I won one match.
Yeah, I have a win.
They're like,
They're like, who? Alex Jabali. I beat him up. Oh, Fyter Fest. I always forget about Fyter Fest. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining episode.
For sure.
And then we ended off with Hangman tells the boys off.
Yeah,
so is this the end? Like, I mean, he actually says it. I'm done.
I'm out. Yeah, that's what he says. And then I'm sure we'll get into that whole storyline when we get into Dynamite from this week. But yeah, just again, progressing the story with everything they do. Everything is pushing the story forward, and it's all been great. I think this is just the next chapter, And they're doing it right. This whole Hangman Adam Page stuff is being done right, and I'm liking everything coming out of it.
Yeah, it's a slow burn. I like it.
Yeah, and for sure. And that's something we don't get to see in wrestling today because everything happens so fast. And let's get on to the next one.
Yeah, it's a new generation, right?
Yeah.
They get bored fast and
Okay, so let's quickly change gears here and do a breaking kayfabe section. Just because the last few weeks we've been talking about Matt Hardy and whatnot. Let's just keep it going. Free the delete episode 11 comes out. It's the second part from episode 10, and we get to see more in depth of what happened at the Hardy Ranch and these flashbacks that Matt was having. Tell me your thoughts on Free the Delete.
it wasn't long enough.
I thought the same thing.
I still wanted more. I like the bit of comedy in there. It leaves me wanting more, which is I'm sure what they were after.
So
did we learn really a lot in it though?
No,
other than he's buried now.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job in leaving it open, and we're gonna get more #Free the Deletes. I feel like when it came down to episode 10, it felt like it was almost like it was an ending. It was an ambiguous ending, but I mean it was an ending at sorts. Like, I need you guys to free me, and like the whole thing is free the delete. So it was just like, yeah, this is it. He's going to sign with AEW, and this is it. The Young Bucks have freedom. But then we get this episode 11, and now it opens it up. Now we're going to have 12, 13, 14, 15, and who knows how long they'll go on with this, and it'll probably go on right up until he debuts. The one thing that I will point out, though, or that I'll add, is I think this eliminates Matt Hardy as the Exalted One.
Okay, why do you say that?
I just think it makes more sense for Matt Hardy to run with this rebirth, the separation of Zenith and becoming broken again and stuff like that. I think it makes more sense for him to just be him and not be tied to the Dark Order. And I think it will help his popularity and his entrance into AEW if they keep these episodes going for a little bit more. Like, let's just progress the story a little bit more. And with the news that the Exalted One is going to be on Dynamite next week, in whatever shape or fashion that'll be, I just think Matt Hardy's out.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah, now that you say that, I want to agree with you. And Matt's really taken this to the next level on social media, because today his son tweeted that he'd be taking over his dad's account, the Matt Hardy brand.
Right.
So I'm expecting in the next episode that we are probably not even going to see Matt Hardy. Right? He'll still be buried.
Yeah,
like, he's probably not going to rise.
And it's going to be all King Maxwell.
Right. The little turd.
The little turd. And that's the one tweet he actually puts out. He's like, I didn't forget what you said, and I'm coming after you, Matt Jackson. And then, of course, they show the clip of him. Get out of here, you little turd. No, it's good stuff. All good stuff coming out of the Matt Hardy brand. And I can't wait. I want to see more #Free the Delete. And I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to get that tweet that's official from All Elite Wrestling that Matt Hardy is #All Elite. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Do you think that will come first, or he'll show up on the show?
I hope they keep it a surprise. But, I mean, we got the Lance Archer announcement early. We've been pretty much getting the announcements. It's all been leaking, so it's hard to say. But
Yeah.
I really want it to be a surprise. I want some new music I've never heard before, or even just kind of New Day style where everything's quiet and someone comes on the mic and you just hear yes, and then the crowd pops and some music goes off and he comes out all fucking like broken Matt Hardy does. So I don't know. I hope it's a surprise, but we'll see how it goes. Let's move on. Let's get right into this week's power rankings, which came out Wednesday afternoon. What's changed and what's good?
You know what? There's not a lot of change actually from last week. So in the men's division, Cody went down 1, Pac went up 1. So they just kind of switched.
Which makes sense because Pac had that win on
Right.
that Dynamite last week, so makes sense.
Right. In the women's division, there was absolutely no change. So everything's exactly the same.
All right, let's.
And then in the tag, Private Party, who made it to the top 5 last week, is now out of the top 5. And Jericho and Sammy are now in 5th place. So that's interesting. You know, that they're kind of considered a tag now.
I mean, it makes sense. That seems to be the they're representing Inner Circle as a tag team more than Proud and Powerful at this point. So I mean, it makes sense to me that and they have the wins behind them. So yeah, it all makes sense to me.
They got to keep Jericho going, and this is a good way to do it. Because do you think that Moxley is hurt right now?
I don't know how hurt he could be, but
Like, it was interesting that he wasn't on the show this week. Maybe we'll talk about that, but
yeah, we'll get into that when that segment came
just
up.
to do the
But
okay.
I think it's all show. I think it's kayfabe.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so, because we want to keep seeing Mox.
Yeah, for sure. Especially as the title holder. We don't want any Goldberg, Brock Lesnar 2018 situations going on with the championship belts. So
yeah, and you know what? Like, in the last 5 years in the vanilla brand, like, how many times have we seen the beginning of the show is I love the fans, but I have to give up the belt. Like, I hope I never see that in AEW.
yeah, for sure. I mean, barring that the guy's paralyzed, if there needs to be a sudden relinquish of a title, work it into a story, get it filmed, whatever you need to do. But yeah, it's so sad when you go back to that SummerSlam and Finn Balor hurts his shoulder, wins the inaugural Universal title, and then Monday he's out there in a sling. Or even Roman Reigns. I believe Roman Reigns had to voluntarily give up a title when he had leukemia there, right?
Yeah.
So it happens way too much. I feel like there are better ways to do it, as over as those two got from that, because it's a sympathy thing. But I don't know, give us a more legit way to relinquish the title. I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get right into AEW Dynamite for the week. March 11th, 2020 in Salt Lake City, Utah. What do you got?
All right. See, the first match was, when I saw this, I was like, yes. So Ortiz of Proud and Powerful versus
the best.
I mean, anytime
the best.
anytime you're starting with Cody, it's a good thing.
And props to TNT for taking our advice and listening to the Impromptu Wrestling Podcast and giving us a full Cody entrance. I mean, bravo. I I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This match was awesome. Everything about this match is awesome. It was the highlight of the night for me. To be completely honest, we had a good singles match. We have Ortiz working heel, which works. Cody was constantly fighting back, or trying to crawl back into this match. Yeah, big moves. It was just a good match, and then we get the surprise, the confirmation of what happened last week. Why don't you tell me about this?
So yeah, I want to say it was probably a couple minutes into the match. We see Jake the Snake Roberts come out, and he being followed by what we can only assume is his client, and it's Lance Archer.
For sure. And
so
this guy is bigger than I remembered. I mean, you look at like the last time I saw him was New Japan fighting against Moxley at Wrestle Kingdom, and the Japan cameras are always so far back. They're not as up close into the action as the American wrestling brands are. So when he's standing next to Moxley, I mean, Moxley's a big guy and Archer's a big guy, so they kind of just cancel each other out when you're that zoomed out. But him coming through the crowd, and you see him standing against regular people, and especially Jake the Snake, like, this guy's a monster. He's huge.
Yeah.
So,
and I want to say that in our last episode, when we were talking about who this client could be, I think I remember saying that it needed to be somebody that,
right,
like, bigger in size than Jake. Like, the client can't be small.
Yeah, it has to be physically imposing of some sort.
Yeah, yeah.
And
so they sat at ringside. They didn't interfere in the match. They actually didn't really even show them too much, which I thought was a bit odd. There's maybe only 3 times that they kind of showed. I think at one point Lance was gonna jump over.
Yeah.
That towards the end of the match.
That was when Cody suplexed Ortiz on the ramp, and they were everybody was right at the rampway there, and they were just kind of sitting. So he put his leg over, and Jake puts his hand on his shoulder and starts whispering into his ear, and you don't hear anything that's being said, and Lance kind of just nods and steps back over, and they leave as we go into the end of the match. Yeah, I'm excited. I have no idea where they're going to take this. Is this just going to be a Lance Elite or a Lance versus Cody type thing? Is he coming after Cody, or is he coming after the Elite and going to pick them off one by one? You know, are we going to do the game of death style where the end game is Cody, but, you know, he's going to take Matt, he's going to take Kenny, he's going to go after Hangman? You know, like they can do so much stuff with this now, and I can't wait to see where they're going to go with this. I want to see this guy in action again, because, like I said, I've only seen him the once, and it's impressive. He's an impressive specimen, as JR would say.
My first thought with this is that it seems like when they bring in a new person, it's like Cody gets the first crack at him.
That's
like
happened.
To get him over, it's you know, they put him against Cody, because that was, you know, Darby.
Right.
Who was the next one?
Spears,
yeah.
Now MJF.
So I think that's good because, like, I can't remember ever seeing a bad Cody match, like a garbage one.
Well, not
maybe
since
they're not
Vanilla.
all 5-star, but
not Vanilla.
Yeah,
not since Vanilla. Cody, I'll say it right now, and I'm sure we're all thinking it, and hopefully our viewers agree with me here. Cody Cody is the most over wrestler in professional wrestling right now. Can you tell me anybody who can match his overness right now? I mean, you have crowd favorites like Orange Cassidy and stuff, but they don't have the star power that Cody has, and he's just as over. Nobody's talking shit about Cody right now, and like you said, they're using Cody's stardom because they know it's not going anywhere. Like, Cody, I mean, as much as Tony Khan is involved, Cody is the reason we have an alternative to vanilla ice cream right now. It's Cody.
Yeah.
It's his product. He's wearing his own brand on his neck. Like, this guy is all in. No pun intended. And we're behind him. I'm behind him. I can't speak for you, but like, they're using Cody's stardom to progress these new faces. Darby Allin, Shawn Spears, MJF. MJF didn't have a program. He had nothing to do with AEW except for be Cody's lapdog until he comes out and goes against Cody and gets the win. Now he's the biggest heel in professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Like Cody is the epicenter of professional wrestling right now, and they're using it to our advantage.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Our advantage. Yeah,
for sure. The only other thing I want to bring up about this match is Cody doing the figure four. Can you honestly tell me when the last time someone tapped out to the figure four?
No.
You can't.
I think I was like 6 years old or something like that last time it happened.
Let's just say we didn't see it happen. Not live, anyways. But it's cool. It's a great move. It's iconic. I think Cody's the right guy to pull it off. And it sets up this blood and guts match that we're going to hopefully see in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll talk about that in a different episode. But these rules that are coming out where it's tap out or surrender, which to my English knowledge means the same thing, but we'll talk about that. And this is setting it up. Cody's got a submission now, and it's the figure four, so I like where that's going.
Oh, so you're seeing this as like kind of a setup for that?
Yeah, this is a setup. Like, okay. Cody's gonna put the figure four on Sammy Guevara in the blood and guts match. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
because everybody, somebody's got to win that match, and everybody's gonna need a submission move. I don't know that Cody's a submission wrestler, so the figure four makes sense. It looks good when he does it. So yeah, I think it makes sense for me. Do you have anything else you want to add for this match?
You know what? Just that I thought that Ortiz, man, can he sell? And again, maybe it gets lost in when they're in a tag match. You don't really see it because it was all Ortiz. Like, man, he sells. I was thinking about it, and it totally made that match better than it could have been had it been somebody else. He was doing the flare flops.
Yes.
He was doing them perfectly. It was awesome.
This guy Ortiz we're talking about, he's underrated. I don't think he gets the props that I just went on a rant about how awesome Cody is, and it almost overshadows what Ortiz did in this match. This guy was working the crowd from his entrance. And like you said, when you get into tag team matches, you almost don't get to see that because now there's three other bodies you got to think about. And like Ortiz is, yeah, like you said, he's great at the selling. He's great at working the crowd. Every time he does a move, he's turning to the hard camera and he's doing some kind of gesture. And like I said at the beginning of the segment, you know, the best, the best, the best. Like that's all character coming out of this guy. And
Yeah,
I like Ortiz. It's hard not
I do
to.
too.
It's hard not to.
He could be by himself, I think. He's good in the tag team, but I think he could be by himself.
If we can call it the barbershop, if there's ever a barbershop moment, Ortiz is Shawn Michaels.
All right. I feel like we're going to replay this clip at some point.
Yeah, he's going to... It won't be a super kick, I'm sure, but I mean, he's going to super kick Santana and throw him through the glass, and he's going to become an Intercontinental Champion. He's going to become the World Champion. You know, it's Ortiz. I think Ortiz has the singles power.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on.
Whoa.
Whoa, you got more? Do I got to go back?
We still got some stuff to talk about here. So at the end of the match, you know, Cody wins with the figure 4.
Right.
He gets attacked. Matt and Kenny come running.
Right. Sorry.
Okay. And
this is not in the notes.
They kind of get a lick. They kind of get a lick there, and then Inner Circle comes on the jumbo.
Right. Yes.
So tell us about that.
Jericho looking like a rock star. He's, you know, the hair's not
good.
up. The hair's brushed. I don't know. Yeah, like I don't want to.
Yeah, the flat iron was out that day.
Yeah, no doubt. Like he looked like a freaking rock star. I mean, he is a rock star, so it all makes sense. He's got his aviators on. But yeah, he calls out, "Hey, Elite," you know. Cody's there, Matt's there, Kenny's there. Where's Nick in all this? And it pans out, and Nick's got his head crushed basically by this big garage door. And I mean, this is just the perfect setup for this blood and guts feud that we're gonna hopefully see in the next couple weeks. And Inner Circle took the first shot, and they eliminated one of the Elite. Now, let me tell you what I think where this is going. We talked about it last week. Nick wasn't medically cleared to even travel, so he wasn't on the show. We kind of alluded to, his wife was pregnant. We learned that on the Being the Elite from that week, and maybe he's going to be taking some time off. So is this just the reassurance that this is what's happening? Nick's not going to be around. Well, what does that mean for Blood and Guts? I think this opens up the door for someone to come in and replace Nick Jackson in this Blood and Guts match. What are your thoughts?
And it has to be
QT
Lance
Marshall.
Archer.
What?
QT Marshall. I mean, I guess that also makes sense, but I mean, because Cody's in there, and if they're gonna start this thing,
well,
I don't know.
No, I wasn't serious about QT Marshall. I mean, it would be Dustin before QT Marshall. Let's be real. But, I mean, we'll get into it later, but I'm just throwing it out here now since we're on the subject of Blood and Guts. I don't even think Hangman's going to be a part of this match. So now there's 2 spots you got to fill. I think Dustin's one. It's got to be. Cody's going to recruit from inside the family, right?
Okay.
But yeah. But no, could it be Lance Archer? He's going to be feuding with Cody, so.
Well, I don't know. Like I could just see, Jake the Snake's he's gonna come to the ring. He's gonna cut some promos about, I'm pushing to get my client into this match. That kind of idea. But
Jake's
yeah,
good.
maybe it's too soon to do that. Maybe
Jake's
it's too soon to do
good,
it.
so I could see him using psychology to get one over on Cody, and keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, kind of thing. And then he could get Lance Archer into that match. I think Cody's like I said, I feel like there's 2 spots to fill. Going back to what we saw in Being the Elite, I think Hangman's not going to have anything to do with this match. It's just going to be Matt. Because he's out. He said he's out.
Right.
So it's going to be Cody, it's going to be Matt, and it's going to be Kenny. Now, Nick's potentially gone. I think he's gone. So, yeah.
Could it be a new person?
It
Did
might
they make
be
a signing?
It might be Matt Hardy. I don't know, but the options are out there.
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Put it in the
Who do you
comments
think?
below. Who do you think are the potential 2 recruitments for the Elite? I'll tell you who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Marty Skrull. Let's move on. What happened next on Dynamite?
All right. In the next match, we had my girl, K-Stat.
K-Stat.
Statlander versus Sheeta.
What?
Hikaru Shida?
She was versus Sheeta? They were tag teams, I think.
They were tag teams. Did I say versus?
You did.
No, sorry.
Statlander and
so
Sheeta.
they were tagging against B. Priestley and Nyla Rose. What did you think of this one?
You know what? This was really good. I enjoyed this tag team match, and I alluded to it last episode or the Revolution review show, how Nyla Rose and Statlander were together too soon. They didn't have chemistry. Just having that contact at Revolution, their encounters in this match were just that much better. Still not great, but I mean, they're getting better. But when you have someone like Sheeta, who is just awesome with everybody, this match really, really worked. And we got to see Bae Priestley again, where we haven't seen her a lot. We've seen her on a couple darks and not since the summer, basically. But this is an impressive athlete in Bae Priestley, and I want to see where they're going to go with this. But the match is great. I thought it was great. What did you think?
I thought Sheeta was the woman of the match. I think she made the match, even though I love K-Stat.
For sure.
She was the woman of the match. We haven't seen B. Priestley all that much, and I haven't seen her research her YouTube stuff or anything like that. She did say in the pre-show interview that she had just come from Japan, so she must still be doing a lot of Japan stuff. So you can kind of tell that in her style.
Oh, for sure.
So hopefully we see more of her, because she's bigger, and she fits with those women. So I thought, they all worked really well together. Did you notice Nyla being booed?
Yeah, I did.
And it sounded like a different boo to me. Like, it didn't sound like heat booing. It sounded like booing.
It sounded like
you suck,
ignorance booing to me.
So you think maybe just where they were?
I mean,
because
I really
in
do.
the different states they're in, they have different kind of. Is Utah religious?
Well, they're Mormon.
Part of them.
They're Mormon, right? That's a Mormon state, and I don't want to get too much into the religious and the politics of wrestling fans or anything, but yeah, Utah is a Mormon state. I mean, majority, and I mean, let's break kayfabe here for a second. Nyla Rose is a post-op transgender woman. And I know a lot of people do not like the fact that a biologically born man is the women's champion. And I could see that a religious state like Utah might have a problem with that. And that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad.
It is sad. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to Nyla Rose on Talk is Jericho, but it is a very, very informative conversation that he has with her. And I thought the most interesting part of it is that with her hormone therapy and this process that she went through, she is more genetically, I shouldn't say genetically, but biologically, like her hormone levels are more female than most biological females.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and she talks about how, during this hormone therapy and stuff, that she lost a lot of her strength. So to say that, she has, manly genetics is almost wrong. Like you can't really say that, because her herself is saying she is not as strong as she used to be before.
Yeah.
So,
and I think you can see that in the matches as well. Like with some
she's not throwing these girls around. She's not.
Like Rihu that's a whole different. She's not even 100 pounds, that girl.
Yeah.
So she doesn't count. But yeah, the other girls, she's not chucking them across the ring.
Which they could easily do as a spot if that was the case. But obviously she does have physical limitations. But anyways, I think the people out there need to give Nyla a chance. And just remember that this is just entertainment. This is just professional wrestling. Don't dig into people's personal lives as much. Watch it for what it is. It's no different than watching Game of Thrones. Do you think someone the size of Amelia Clark could wrangle dragons in real life? If dragons were even real? Give it some, give it the benefit of the doubt. But
yeah.
I like Nyla Rose.
I do too.
And the fact that crowd booed her, it pissed me off. And you can tell in my tone. So
it really, I think, took away from the match. Like I think the same way it affected me, because I was just like, I stopped watching and I'm like trying to figure out like why is it like this? But
right.
Yeah, it could just be where they were. Because she's never had that before. I don't remember ever having that reaction.
It's like you said, it was a different kind of boo. It wasn't the same boos that Britt Baker gets when she comes out and, backhands Tony Schiavone around. And you know what? Like, that's, like I've said before, that's the right kind of heat. This was not heat. This was ignorance and I can't even think of what the word is. Prejudice. It was prejudice. It was. Yeah. It wasn't right. It didn't feel right to me. But
no, you're right. It wasn't right.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Nyla gets the win
with
for Priestley and Rose.
That power bomb that she does. Did she combo
bomb?
Did she combo that with another move? I feel like she comboed it. Am I remembering that right?
I don't remember.
Leave it in the comments below if you remember. I feel like she comboed it, and yeah, it just worked. It's like she caught her and then picked her up and powerbomb. It was something cool.
Yeah.
But,
it looked really good, like, because she is not a small lady.
No, not as small as a Riho, for sure. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
And then after Priestley attacks Nyla, So
Yeah.
I wonder, are we going to see more of her, Bea Priestley?
I think
Is this going to
maybe,
be the next?
yeah, maybe her obligations to other companies are done and she can focus on AEW, and we're going to see her from a week-to-week basis. I think that's where it's going. It seems to be the thing where you kind of just, hey, I'm next. and
Right.
and she's next. So Chris Statlander did it. She got her title shot. It didn't work out for her. Bea Priestley attacks after the tag team match, and give me a call whenever you're ready.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one if it happens.
Yeah, for sure. Again, they match up. They match up well. So we'll see how it goes. Next segment, we get a little bit of comedy, a little bit of story development, but Christopher Daniels in his turtleneck and blazer, kind of making fun of the Dark Order. I liked this bit. This bit was gold, and what did
Totally
you think?
was, and we've been missing these videos that the Dark Order was
Right
putting out
from the Dark
they
Order
kinda
perspective.
stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was really clever. Hashtag Dark Order.
I like how
going.
Sorry, I like how they kept cutting in Christopher Daniels in his SCU gear. Dark Order sucks. And they just kept using the same take. Like, it just...
Yeah.
It was so good. Everything
Yeah, it was
about this
totally
good.
like he edited it himself or something.
Almost, yeah. But he used the same backgrounds and whatnot that Dark Order uses. So it's almost like they were just using, like, I don't know, IMAX stock footage or something like that. But it looked exactly like a Dark Order. He played that part. Are you sick and tired of being told you're a loser? Like, he did it so good. And yeah, credit to Christopher Daniels for doing something different and almost getting himself over outside of
Well, let me
SCU.
ask you this. Because in a previous episode, you said, Christopher Daniels is not the Exalted One. Do you feel like maybe now he could be? Is this all a ruse? Like it could explain why he had all the backgrounds and all of the...
Oh, okay.
That was my thought.
You're
That was my
Da
thought.
Vinci coding me now. You got me thinking.
Well, you're the one that said, Hangman's not going to be in Blood and Guts. I'm still thinking about it. But I don't know. Like I said before, I don't think it rules him out. And now I'm kind of thinking...
Wow. Okay, maybe we're going to be playing this clip back in a couple weeks or next week, I guess, because we're going to find out who it is. Or hopefully we're
just to
find out.
prove how genius we are,
Right.
really, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good
No,
call.
it was a really funny segment. I like.
It was well done. Outside of the realm of SCU, Christopher Daniels gets over, I think.
Yeah.
All
After
right.
the Orange Cassidy being the Elite, he's on fire.
He's on fire. Yeah. All right, next matchup of the night.
Oh, and I was looking forward to this one because of the bunny. So we had the Butcher and the Blade and MJF versus Jurassic Express. And this was it was a good match. Like, I mean, it had everybody did their parts.
It was
I
a
don't know, what'd
6-man
you think
tag
about it?
match. It was a 6-man tag match.
Which, as we said before, we're not.
It takes really special talents, really, really, really special talents to pull off a really good 6-man tag match. Like, thinking about Kenny and the Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers and, Laredo Kid or whoever it was back in the summer. Like, that is how you do a 6-man tag match. This was perfectly fine. It wasn't spectacular. It did its job. It enforces the fact that MJF has the Blade and the Butcher, or the Butcher and the Blade, sorry, at his beck and call. They're basically on contract with MJF. And, the fans get to see Jurassic Express. Everybody's loving Jurassic Express. One little subtle thing that I'm really noticing coming out of the Butcher especially is this entrance that he does, and he gets in the ring and he starts slamming his knees on the ground as he stomps around. Man, that's so cool. What makes me, I don't know if it's the way he looks, because he's a big burly guy and he's bald kind of, and he's got this beard, but he reminds, when he does that, all I can think about is Bowser from Mario. Does that not seem like something Bowser would do? I don't know if you remember Super Mario 64, but whenever you would go to fight Bowser, he'd come into the screen. I don't know. That's just what comes to my mind. But, it works.
A lot of those wrestlers are gamers, so I wouldn't put it past to take a little bit of stuff from it.
But, the Butcher, that's a character right there. He's got the look. He's got that mustache. It's all, he could twirl it. And he's all padded up, and he's huge. And, and then that just emphasizes his size when he's making all this noise, slamming on the ground. I like it.
He was my favorite part of this match, actually. I felt like he had more parts than usual.
Okay.
The Blade gets more sort of attention when they're tagging. I don't know. He stood out to me this time.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
And now that I'm remembering, this was the match, not the dark match. This was the match where Luchasaurus flips off the top rope and almost kills himself.
Right. I thought that was out of place, but I didn't want to.
I think he's extinct.
I didn't want to bury you now. Yeah, this was a weird spot. Going back,
did he catch his leg? What did he do?
Well, so this is a spot. He's done this before, and he's done it better. But this is another case of just because you can, should you? That almost needs to be a segment on the show now. Da 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 da. Just because you can, should you? But what he does is that he runs up to the ropes and he springboards off the second rope. Which, when you think about how big he is, you're not expecting this guy who's probably 300 plus pounds, 7 feet tall, to leap 5 feet in the air to springboard off the top rope. I'm not expecting you to do that. But now think about the physics of this. You're springboarding off the second rope, which is parallel to the top rope, which means you have to leap backwards and forwards at the same time to clear it. And I think just on this instance, he clips his feet coming as he's jumping up, and it stunts his rotation a bit. And he damn near decapitated himself on the apron. Think about it for a second. I don't know. Just because you can, should you? That's all I can say.
You're not Ray Phoenix, bud.
Right. You're not even Jungle Boy. I don't even think Jungle Boy's doing that.
No.
So, but 6-man tag match. It was it was good. Like you said, Butcher.
Did you notice Bunny at the end? Their back turned to the hard camera.
I'm not going to say I didn't notice it, but...
Okay.
The pause button might have came up.
Oh.
The pause button might have been pressed for a little while.
For a little bit.
A little bit.
Just so you could confirm what you saw.
Right.
Yeah, just for the show.
Are those heels 6 inches or 8? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Right.
Let's move on.
So from here, we had the Darby vignette. It's a little short. What did you think of this one?
I'm getting sick and tired. Let me tell you. Let me go on a rant right here. I'm getting sick and tired of liking everything that this show puts on. I'm just done. This was so good. He's got the Jericho mask on, and then it cuts to him in the body bag with the Sammy mask on. It's all in black and white. This kid is so creative, and it makes me jealous. I wish I was that creative.
And when the truck's pulling it away, like he's in there.
He sits
or
up.
Someone's in there. Yeah.
Like you see the body bag like bend. Like he's actually in there. He's going all he's all in.
Did it do this? Is that what it did?
It
did that? Okay. I'll have to rewatch it.
I'm sitting in a chair. I can't mimic it.
No, I know what you mean.
But yeah, no, really good vignette. This I think we even said it during the Revolution review show that I don't think this feud with Sammy's over, and this is just confirming it to me. He's coming after the Dark Order. He's coming after.
Is this not our answer then of who's going to be in Blood and Guts? Like,
right?
Wouldn't Darby be a good?
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. How do you not have a Blood and Guts match without this maniac in it? He's gonna steal the show. All right.
So Dustin Darby. That's
Dustin
what we're
Darby.
saying.
I'm saying Dustin.
When we're right.
I'm saying Dustin, and you're saying Darby are gonna replace Nick and Hangman in the Blood and Guts.
That's what we're saying. Lock it in.
Lock it in. It's locked. Darby in the Elite. Could you see him coming down?
No.
He's
a lone wolf.
He is a lone wolf. You're right. All right. Next segment, we get Tony up on the ramp, and he doesn't even have to say 2 words. I know who's coming out.
Because, is this 3 weeks in a row now?
If not
at least
4.
2, right?
Well, if you count the ship, I mean, this has been a segment, almost a staple segment, since the cruise, which was mid-January. So, yeah, we know what's gonna happen. This one was a little weird though. This one didn't have the gusto that the others had. I don't know, something felt off.
It's like she was trying to do the things she's done before, but this crowd was a different crowd. Like we talked about it before, right, with the Nyla thing.
Yes.
Like they were just not buying what she was saying. And then she couldn't find her words, and she didn't know how to get it back.
They caught her off guard, and you almost see it in her eyes at some point because she's like standing there and she's got the mic in her face, and she's like, and it's almost like I was almost begging Tony, like, save her.
Well, I thought he was going to at one point, and then I think she cut him off.
Right.
Like she was gonna, let me give him another crack at it.
Yeah.
It didn't. The stuff that the crowd was reacting to was not, to me, heels. It was just a bad promo all around.
I don't think Utah likes wrestling.
Yeah, I don't think they get it.
Like, I think for me, if you it's hard to tune out the crowd reaction while you're watching this on TV. But to me, Britt was doing everything that she was supposed to do. mind you, she got kind of caught off guard and lost her way. But I mean, it started off perfectly. You know, hey Tony, you know, and they do the cheek kiss, and I got you your favorite. And you know, Tony spelt a different way again. I'm glad they were keeping that bit going, where Tony spelled differently every time. And you know, it started off how it was supposed to, but then yeah, this. I don't even care if we get any hate mail from this. That shit crowd from Salt Lake City just ruined this bit for her. But I mean, they're
so you don't feel it was deserved?
I don't think it was deserved. They like you said, it was very much like the Nyla situation. It was they were booing. They weren't booing her because she was supposed to be booed. They were just booing it because they didn't like it. And I mean, they're entitled to their opinion, but I mean, you can tell heat boo from I just don't want to see this boo. Mm-hmm. And this was just I don't want to see this boo. Well, what did you think?
I think that. Yeah, I mean, I think the only way it could have made it worse is if everyone became silent.
Right.
Like if everybody just sat there and stared, like that would have been worse. But yeah, it was awkward. I wanted that segment to be over so fast.
Yeah, and this was
then it kind of got a little bit better, right?
Little.
Then Swole came out, Big Swole.
Right.
And tell us about the interaction.
So, as much as this saved the segment, it also just pissed me off because it just confused me more of why she came out during the Nyla Statlander segment a few weeks ago. It's just like, is this all she's going to do? Is just anytime someone has an interview, she's going to come out and insert herself? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Now, if they follow,
supposed to be going after Nyla, right?
That's the story. But now they've changed their mind. It's going to be Priestley, I guess. So now we need something new. So as long as they continue this, and we're going to see more swole Britt Baker stuff, then I'm okay. But if this is just going to be a thing where she just comes out and talks smack to anybody that's having an interview, I'm not for it. Having said that, yeah, good segment. She comes out. We get some subtle call-outs to the vanilla brand, which I loved. I don't know if you know that Britt Baker's comment, the only wrestling fan or the only wrestling attention your family gets is from your boyfriend. Do you know who her significant other is?
Who are we talking about? Baker?
Swole. Swole's significant other.
Is it Cedric?
Yeah, Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Former cruiserweight champion. Great wrestler. Oh my god, that guy's amazing. So yeah, I didn't know that. I had to look it up. But I was like, oh, who's, I'm married, bitch, or whatever she says. And I was like, oh, shit. So I got on the Google machine and Wikipedia, and yeah, Cedric Alexander. I was like, okay. And then Swole.
And so Adam and Britt are not married. Like, that was the shot.
That was the shot, yes.
I'm married, yeah.
Yeah, because they are not. I want to say they're engaged, but that might not even be true. I don't know. But Swole has the comeback of the night, I feel. And where she's just like, I'm married, baby. Yeah. And then Britt's like, coffee in the face, and she booked it out of there, which, again, me watching as a wrestling fan, yeah, that just gives her more heat. Even though the crowd wasn't giving it to her properly. Yeah. Swole kind of saves the day in this segment, I feel.
Yeah, I think so. All right. From there, we move on to the next match of the night, which was Death Triangle. It's the debut match of Death Triangle, Jeff's favorite tag team name, versus Joey Janela and Private Party.
I even hearing Justin Roberts, Death Triangle, and I'm like, ew, ew,
Gross.
like Justin Roberts should be better and just change the name. Death Trio would have been better.
The Death Trio.
Say it in Spanish, and then it doesn't sound
It sounds
so much.
way better in Spanish.
Because what would it be? Triangle
They said it.
de Muerte? I don't know how to say triangle in Spanish.
Put it in the comments, folks.
All our American brethren who speak Spanish. How would you even say that in French? I'm a poor Canadian. I wouldn't know how to say that in French.
I didn't get that far.
Anyways, again, we're looking at another 6-man tag match here. This one was better than the last one, I thought. It was more entertaining. Where
you got the Lucha Brothers in there.
right. So where the Butcher and the Blade and MJF have this, wrestling match, hard hitting, lots of chops, clotheslines and shoulder tackles against the Jurassic Express. Here you get kind of the modern era type wrestling where everybody's jumping off of everything and let's just put on a spectacle. Both great in their different ways, but this was just kind of something a little more.
Yeah, Ray was the man of the match for me. As always,
ridiculous,
he's my favorite.
This guy's ridiculous.
But Private Party stepped up here, and I thought that they kind of made Private Party better. Like, it elevated them to be on, I don't know if I'll say the same level, but like they were up there. It was good. This match really had everything. If you think about it, like there was wrestling parts, there was high flying parts, there was, Pentagon with the hard chops, there was tandem offense, and then you have like the risk taking element as well, flipping to the floor and things like that.
Doing the tope suicinas and tope corleones or whatever they're called. I need to learn that word. That's my mission for next episode.
We have to take a Spanish class?
We have to take a Spanish class. Like, who knew wrestling was so Spanish?
Okay.
Did you notice that Pac started this match for Death Triangle? Man, it pisses me off just to say that. Pac starts this match for the trio, and the crowd wants to do the Zero Muerto chant, or however you say that. And Pentagon, he's on the... And, like, he wants to take his glove off. I think I saw him fidget with his hands. And I think that was a mistake. Hopefully next time Pentagon will start that match and he'll get to do his bit. That was kind of my only grievance with this match, because the crowd was on board with the Lucha Brothers, and they didn't get to do their bit.
But they're supposed to be the heels, right? So he should be totally ignoring.
That's a good point. Going forward, they should start going against those chants. Yeah, I agree with that. I could see that.
Yeah, like doing things where, he pretends to take the glove off, like he's gonna do it, and then he like keeps it on.
You do this. Look around.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because then you're totally like, boo.
Yeah.
You're not let. So yeah, maybe it's good that he didn't do it. I think he actually even turns over to Ray and says something to him. So I wonder if he was asking him, like,
yeah, should we do something?
Should we do this or?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good match.
Highlight of the night, probably. Highlight of the night, biggest spot of the night for me was the gin and juice into the Death Valley Driver, into the frog splash, into the, I'm saying it right now, the best shooting stars press in the business. Wow. Does this guy make that move look 30 times bigger than it is? Wow. I think that's Isaiah Cassidy. I always get these two mixed up. But
yeah, no, I think that's right. Yeah, that is a combo I want to order every night. It was cool.
I wonder what's next for Joey Janela. Is this feud with Kip Sabian over to where, he's just being the filler for other people's matches just to get him on TV? Put him with Private Party. He fits that persona. He wears the bright colors and the cool glasses and whatnot. Like, he could totally do this gimmick, if you want to call it that. Put him with Private Party. Let this feud go. Let's have a Joey Janela Pac match. I mean, we've seen that one before, but let's see it again. Pentagon versus Cassidy, and Phoenix versus the other guy. I don't know their names. I need to be better at my job. But you know what I mean? Like let's build on this. What do you think the future of Joey Janela is?
You know what? I'm not sure, but I think I agree with you on that. They should put him with Private Party. If you watch the pre-show interviews,
okay,
like, they were funny together. They actually came up with a
Joey and Private.
I want to say it was like Death Oreo or something.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yes, I saw that tweet. Death Oreo. Yeah,
they were
way to play off the
well
racism.
Yeah. So I would be cool with that if they did that.
Yeah, I want to see more.
If you think about it, there's nobody else really right now that
Joey can work
fit with.
Yeah, I agree. Poor Joey. I like Joey.
I totally like Joey too.
All right. Let's.
All right. Next segment was John Moxley interview with JR. So we learned that Moxley's medically suspended.
Yes. What does that mean? This entire segment, I don't know. This wasn't Moxley's best work, and I feel going back to how long we've been watching this guy. He works better off the cuff. Whenever they've done these kind of staged segments, I think he gets in his own head. Like, I didn't like this. I finally didn't like something. This interview, I'm not going to say it hurt Moxley in any way, but it was just weird and off-putting, and it could have been better. I feel like Moxley works better off the cuff. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't remember feeling that it was bad, but I think you're right. There was something weird or off about it, but I couldn't place what it was. Like, it obviously wasn't scripted, but you're probably right. Like, maybe he just thought too much about what he needed to say.
I'm sure
it's easier for him when you just throw the camera in front of his face.
I'm sure it was off the cuff in the sense that they were free flowing it, but I'm sure there was a couple different takes taken, because this was a pre-recorded interview. I mean, JR is supposed to be at the desk. What's he doing in a hotel lobby all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so we're not breaking kayfabe that this was live or anything. But I think they took a couple takes. He tried a couple different things, and yeah, I think he got it in his head, and he just came off stiff. If that's a good analogy, it could have been better, but we get Moxley, which is this is something we don't see, is the champ kind of calling somebody out. What were your thoughts on him throwing Jake Hager's name out there?
I think it's a good matchup. Like, if we do see this match, like, it's going to be a hard-hitting match.
It's gonna be a stiff match.
Yeah.
Have we
But
seen?
I don't know that John can carry him. Like,
Oh yeah.
Jake needs to get better. Like, he needs to get better, or it will not look good.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was just gonna ask, have we ever seen a Swagger Ambrose match before? I'm blanking on that.
Not that I can remember. Nothing that's too memorable.
Like the We the People era. Excuse me. We the People era of Swagger, Cesaro and Coulter. They never really feuded with the Shield or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm having a hard time placing if we've ever seen that match before. But
Yeah, like, I feel it was more like Rusev and
right.
his little clique he had going on there. Cesaro sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
hopefully Swagger.
It sounds like that's where it's going, though, right?
Yeah, for sure. Swagger is getting better. I mean, we alluded to it last week in that match against QT Marshall. He already looked a little bit better. He's already getting into the paces of things, and he's being more active. Where this guy debuted on the first episode of Dynamite, October 2nd. And then he did nothing for like 4 months. He just stood in the background and looked. I mean, I'm not going to say he looked badass because he's wearing polo shirt and khakis, which, I mean, he's still wearing. Like, I don't care if you're 6-something, 280-something. I'm 5'7", 200 pounds. I'm not scared of a guy in a polo shirt and khakis. I'll do my best. I ain't backing away. You know what I mean? Like, dude, change your outfit. Wear an inner circle shirt or something. Put some jeans on.
Least, eh?
Like, you're supposed to be the badass of the group. The silent.
Not the accountant.
Not the accountant. Yes. Doing Jericho's taxes this year. He's done some good charity work. Got some good write-offs. Like, figure it out. Anyways.
This is a real rant day for you.
I don't know why
Like,
I'm
you're
so
just
angry.
mad.
I'm so angry. So hungry. Hashtag Pablo.
Yeah.
All right, let's move
All
on.
right. That took us to the main event of the night, where we had Hangman Page and a mystery part versus the top
Number 5,
the
ranked.
number 5 contenders, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara.
So let's just preface this with how the night kind of went. Jericho and the Inner Circle take out Nick Jackson. They do this good clip of everybody taking off in the ambulance. You see Brandy running Cody's jacket out to him, and Cody and Matt are gone. JR does a good job all night talking about how they're gone. Okay? Dustin, visibly angry with the Inner Circle, is that he's had enough. He's inserting himself into this match. We didn't even talk about the opening segment, like the true opening segment of the show. Hangman talking to Tony Schiavone and basically having the Young Bucks coming out to say, I'm never tagging with you guys ever. And he walks off. So, it leads us to believe who's gonna be the partner. And Dustin's like, I want a piece of the inner circle. We've tagged before. I'm going to tag with you tonight. I got your back. Hangman doesn't really like it, but he's going to go with it. What did you think of the whole Dustin inserting himself into this tag match?
I mean, it turned out to be good because they were good together. But it was kind of a let off because I was wanting to see like someone unbelievable.
Okay.
Maybe even someone we've never seen before. Like it felt like he was built up, and it's gonna be Dustin. Okay.
Did you have somebody in mind?
Done that before. I didn't.
Okay.
No. Did you?
No. I wanted to see the handicap match. That's what I wanted
like
to
no
see.
one comes.
Yeah. They kind of did it.
He doesn't want one.
He doesn't want one. He's the Lone Ranger at this point, if I could put it in cowboy terms. Yeah, they did it last week with Darby. Basically, that was a handicap match. I want to say that's the first handicap match we've seen in AEW. But yeah, I think it worked. It would have worked with Hangman's character.
Yeah.
I don't need a partner. I can do this myself. He's portrayed that emotion with us at Revolution where he does the one-winged angel and almost gets the win if it's not for Nick breaking up the count, right? So I can do this on my own. And I felt like that would have been better for Hangman's character. Now, watching the match, Dustin being a part of this, and you get to see how those two work together. I mean, this all but... I almost said it. This almost cements the fact for me that Dustin's going to be in Blood and Guts with Hangman. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know what I'm thinking. But
that he's against Inner Circle.
He's against Inner Circle. So, yeah,
right. He's
He's going to be in that match. He's going to take Hangman's place. Yeah, what did you think of the match itself? This was a really good tag team match.
Yeah, I was really surprised about Dustin and Hangman as a tag together. I thought it fit, it worked. Dustin's awesome, so yeah, it turned out to be a really good match.
I don't know how. I know you follow Dustin on Twitter, but have you noticed how his avatar and stuff? Like he's in a plaid shirt and a cowboy hat. Like this guy's a cowboy from Texas when it comes all down to it. Are we gonna get the rebirth of the Outlaws? Does Dustin change his gimmick and goes cowboy? I want to say Dustin straight edge though, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But like you said, this tag team works and they work well together. And they had tag team offense. They were doing the tandem offenses.
I think if they went there, I think it works. Like, it would be legit. If he came out in a cowboy hat, I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
No one could doubt it.
I never thought about it.
Just talking about the tag team offense that they do, we get this really cool finish where Dustin does the Destroyer and Hangman does the buckshot. Like that was pretty impressive looking to me.
Yeah.
I think it could work.
I'm speechless when it now that you bring it up. It's like, yeah,
Right.
that was probably the highlight of the night, or tied for highlight of the night for
Yeah, I
sure.
don't know. Gin
It
and
was
Juice
just,
Death Villa Driver was pretty deadly.
yeah, yeah. We'll say it's a tie.
We'll say it's a tie.
Yeah.
Vote in the comments below. Um,
So Hangman and Dustin end up getting this, and
Getting the 1, 2, 3.
then get attacked by Inner Circle. So
Everybody kind of closes in, and they're taking out Dustin and Hangman and whatnot. First one to the ring is Cody of all people, which, like I said at the beginning of the segment, was we're to know that he has gone to the hospital with Nick. So, Cody comes out, big pop. I'm glad they didn't do any music or anything. It was a straight run in. It just makes it more impactful. Like, why would you waste time with some music when, your brother's getting his ass kicked? But, sort of gets a little bit of a comeback, but I mean, it's cut short pretty quick. And Dustin, Hangman, and Cody now are basically at Inner Circle's will for the next few minutes. It's quite the beatdown.
yeah,
They make
which it should be for Inner Circle, right? Like that's their thing. They're
right. They're the posse,
taking
right?
yeah.
Kicking names and taking ass. Is that what you're gonna say?
That's what I was thinking. I couldn't formulate the words.
They work their way up to the ramp and they're gonna do to Hangman what they did to Moxley a week earlier, but Matt Jackson comes out of nowhere and saves the day. What did you think of the Matt run in?
I thought it was good because it shows that Matt's still with the Elite.
Right.
He's against Inner Circle and all of that, and then we still see that there's tension there. When he gives him the finger and he's like,
right, which
you said that you saved us. I saved you.
right.
Because I think he said that earlier in the night, or is that on? There's so many shows, I'm getting them all mixed up now.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I think it was on Being the Elite when he was yelling at Cody and Matt.
Right.
He's like, "I'm sick of saving your ass." So I think Matt coming in and saving him, and then giving him the finger, like, screw you kind of thing.
Right.
What did you think of it?
This whole beatdown was good. It's almost becoming every week now. I'll save my rant if it happens again next week, but this was a good segment where it makes Matt kind of the hero for once. Very rarely is Matt the one to be the one who saves the day. Jericho finally gets one over on Matt though at the end, and I swear this was an unprotected chair shot. I feel like Matt didn't get his hand up. The camera kind of shudders on where I was watching it, but Matt takes this chair shot in the forehead, and then Hangman takes one right after that, and Inner Circle, stands above the fallen Elite as it would look, and the show ends there. But they did a really good job of making me hyped for this blood and guts match. Like, man, do I want to see this. I hope it happens. As we wind down here, things are looking sketchy for the world of just entertainment in a whole. WWE has announced that SmackDown and Raw for the foreseeable future is going to be broadcast live from the Performance Center in front of empty crowds, you know, and AEW has also come out to say that they'll be doing the next few. I think they have 4 Dynamites for sure to be broadcast live from Daly's Place in Jacksonville. With limited
The next 4?
The next 4, I believe. There was 2 more added.
Well, then
today.
that would include Blood and Guts
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I keep saying, like, hopefully this Blood and Guts show happens. I wonder if you cancel it. Would you cancel it and save it for a time where you could have a full capacity crowd to watch that match? Or do you do it with what AEW is calling a limited crowd? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I like off the top of my head, I think it would be better if they saved it to have an actual crowd. So, yeah, I guess it depends on what this limited crowd thing actually means.
Like, I got a text from my buddy Corey tonight. He was watching SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown on Fox, and there's literally nobody in the crowd.
Really?
The seats are empty. He says it's
That's got to be weird.
He said it's so hard to watch. You know what I mean? Like, so to take a match that you've been building, I mean, it's been three shows, two and a half weeks, that you've been building this blood and guts match and how terrible and destructive it's going to be, and there's only one way out, submission or surrender and all this stuff. And then you're going to have it in front of nobody with no crowd reactions. Excuse me, but I think I feel like you postpone this match. You change your game up. You have some creative minds. Work your way out of this match from 2 weeks from now. And hopefully this coronavirus bullshit clears itself up by May. And this is your main event for the Double or Nothing pay-per-view.
I like it.
And let's build this for another 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to contact Cody and get this figured out.
I'll get him on the conference call for tomorrow night at American Nightmare, whatever his Twitter handle is. But yeah,
no, I think you're right. We can't have it in front of no audience. That won't work.
It would almost bury the match, I feel, which is something I think they could do every year, much like the sprinkles of the vanilla brand do every year. I look forward to Survivor Series weekend every year now to watch these War Games match.
Yeah.
I hope, as much as I love, they can't be in next year's match. They've been in 3 in a row now. I think it's been 2 for sure. Somebody else needs a chance to do the War Games match.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. AEW will absolutely bury this match if they do it in front of nobody. So Cody, Tony, Young Bucks, if you're listening, somebody hashtags or retweets this episode to them. Do not do this match in front of nobody. That was a double negative. I'm sorry for my grammar.
I just went on Twitter here real quick, and yeah, you're literally seeing no one in
the crowd, right?
Some of the clips.
Weird. Anyways, that was a good show. Lots of good stuff. This one went even longer than we've ever went before, but hopefully we'll edit.
There was a few more rants than usual.
Well, I get a couple of Miller Lights in me, and the truth comes out. I've been lenient. I've been lenient these past few episodes, and it's time to get real. But thanks for watching, everybody. If you made it this far, we appreciate it. If you did make it this far, make sure you're hitting that like button, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. It's right next to it. It's big and red. Just click it. It helps us out. Leave some comments below if you think we should, try something different, or if you're liking everything. Just reassures to us. Engage in the conversation. Who do you think is the exalted one? What should we name the Private Party Joy Janela tag team? What should we name the Jurassic Express finisher? All that stuff. Let us know. And
do we have blood and guts into, or
yes.
do we save it?
Yes.
Vote on that one.
Let's vote on that one. I want to see it at Double or Nothing as a pay-per-view main event. I think is the way to go. All right. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, as always, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace.